Now Taxes is 100% free when you file in the TurboTax app if you didn't file with us last year.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, just do your own taxes in the app by 2/18.
What if I have lots of forms?
All good, all 100% free.
What if I had 3 jobs?
Still 100% free.
What if I once saw Bigfoot?
That has nothing to do with taxes, so still 100% free.
Now that's what I'm talking about.
Now this is Taxes. See if you qualify in the TurboTax app. Excludes TurboTax Live, must start and file in app by 2/18.
Blog Talk Radio.
Good evening, everyone. This is me, Jonathan Alexander, and I'm here to host our show, Life, Laughter, Happiness. Today, I have my co-host with me, Barbara. Are you there, Barbara?
Yes, I'm here. Hi, everybody.
Hi. Now, our guest today is LJ the Medium. Now, this is interesting because, you had a spinal injury, and I think it was around 2013, it says here. And, did you, and I noticed that Barbara, before she came on, was reading your bio. Now, Barbara, is there anything you wanted to say about this, or what you read? Or?
Sure. I just was reading through, and then I read how you went through such a life-changing experience from something that was very traumatic, and I know this happens so often. It happened with me with an accident almost a year ago, and then now experiencing just a few days ago a very close friend having an accident and seeing the trauma and seeing what she's going through is so traumatic for me, but I'm not right now seeing the positive of that yet. But could you tell us about what happened with your experience and how your traumatic experience changed your life, and then tell me if I can expect a change for her, and also kind of why we get so, of course, why we're depressed. It's hard, and it's draining to see in the hospital and all of your hope and your devastation, and then something good happens, and then you're so happy, but yet, you're basically, life has fallen apart, and your schedule's all messed up, and, you're not getting your things done, and it's affecting so much. So how that all worked with you, and then if you can feel me and my friend, how it will be working for us.
Okay, sure. Well, one, I just want to say thank you, Barbara, and thank you, Jonathan, for having me on the show tonight. So I really appreciate that you asked me to join you guys. So I'm happy to be here. So I just want to say that.
We're happy to have you.
Thank you. And it's hard, because, to share the story, but the reason why I like to share my story, or like to be invited to go ahead and talk about it, is because I think it's something that we can all connect with or resonate with, right? We've all had some type of pain or trauma, physical, mental, or emotional, that kind of changes, our life path. So, one, I'm really sorry to hear about your friend or anyone that's going through anything. I always keep people in my healing and my thoughts, because I could say, I've been there. And when you talk to someone who really understands, I pretty much got hurt in 2013. I was, working. I was, in my 20s. I had just gotten married. I just came back from my honeymoon. So as you said, things are absolutely, amazing. You're thinking, okay, we're moving into this home. We have our whole life together. And I would say about 2 weeks after the honeymoon, we get back, and that's when I hurt my spine. And pretty much going from, thinking about being, a newlywed wife, to decorating my home, to planning for children, pretty much just got shattered. And again, it's like what I was mentioning before the show. It's like you have your hopes and you have your dreams, and it's, I could not take care of myself. So just taking you back a little bit, it's like I could not walk. I needed multiple surgeries, which I know you read the bio. So I had 3 altogether in spine surgeries.
Wow.
So, you lose
your... When you woke up from the injury, is that when then you did the surgery, or can they do surgery? Were you out, or did you come back to consciousness? Because I had to read it really quickly.
Right. So I was in severe pain. I was working. It was just like a freak accident. And the pain was instant. The pain was just like, oh my God. So it just happened so fast. But my surgery, I had emergency surgery. It wasn't that night. I would say it was approximately 3 months later, because they tried to give me injections and there was other alternatives that they were trying to do. But then when I got to the point, I was in a wheelchair and I couldn't walk and I had no feeling in my leg, that at that point the doctor's like, I'm sending you to the hospital right now, because they didn't want to risk like permanent, paralysis or anything like that. So it was a matter of like, we need to do this now, because I couldn't feel anything on my right side. So it just, like I said, everything happened so fast. You're now bedridden. You can't get up to go to the bathroom by yourself. You can't put your clothes on. So it was like life altering. And here I am. I have a wonderful, husband. We had just been married a couple weeks, but he came from a home where, things were done for him. And I'm Italian, so I'm a very old traditional. I come from an old traditional family where the wife cooks and cleans. And here I was, like, I couldn't do anything. Nothing at all. He had to.
So this was a big test to being a husband, right? Like for better or for worse, like right off the bat there. Wow.
Totally. So it was. We were in for. We both were. I say it happened to me, but it happened to him, just like this has happened to your friend. But you love your friend, so it does. It does take a toll. So our lives, that's just the beginning of it. I mean, it's been a crazy 7-year journey, but that's basically the beginning of it. It was. You basically have to learn how to live again. And here you are. It's like, everyone says, the honeymoon phase. We kind of got the honeymoon, and then we came back and, everything, because now you're making alterations to your home. That second income you have is no longer there. So, your whole life changes, and it's all because of pain. It's all because of pain.
And children, and you were excited to have children. So you're probably worried about how is that going to affect that part of your body.
I was worried about all that. Unfortunately, that's not the route life has taken us. But I know I'm fast forwarding, but I always like to say when people ask me about the children, I don't have children, but I did give the miracle of life because I donated my kidney about 2 years ago.
Oh, yes.
So
that's
I
wonderful.
say that right? And the life has just an amazing way of working itself out. So, when we're going through the life, Barbara, we're kind of like, what's going to happen? What's our purpose? Where do we go from here? We don't always see it. It's not always obvious. It's not always clear. But that's why I like to share my story, because had you told me 7 years ago I would be a medium or I would be a kidney donor, I would be like, there's no way, right? So I always say, and especially to you and your friend, just to continue to stay positive, because we don't know what the plan is right now, but I do believe if you continue to be strong, your mind and body, I believe there is a light at the end of the tunnel. There is a purpose to all of this pain is what I believe, and that's what I go around sharing my story, because if I can come back from where I was, I believe anybody can.
Yes, definitely. And that is a belief of mine, too. So I know that I will find a reason. But more importantly, I need to open her eyes to this as well and find the reason why this happened, because this person is accident prone, but this is the worst of all the accidents. And she's in the neurological unit at the hospital, but thank goodness yesterday she started speaking, so thank goodness. Okay. And she can move, she can sit up and all of that, but, it's going to be a long road straight to the physical therapy center.
Does she have to do rehab to, kind of learn to get around and move again? Because I feel a lot of weakness connected to her, just a lot of weakness.
Okay, yes, definitely. And this has only been 3 days now, so they said she's not going to get out of the hospital and go home. She's getting out of the hospital to go to a rehabilitation center. And this person is a young, active, athletic person with a little dog. And now I'm taking care of the dog. And, I'm bringing the dog every day to the hospital, which I think is so wonderful that they let me do that because it's therapeutic for both of them.
Oh, absolutely.
Then, yes, but it's the not knowing. It's like not knowing how is this going to affect the brain, the head injuries that she's endured, how, we don't know yet. So that's a
Right.
long road, and it brings me a lot of stress because this has been my best friend for almost 30 years, and then I thought, I don't think now I have lost her, because sometimes, even if they don't pass away, but a head injury can really change a person's personality completely, and I don't think that is going to be the case on this one, but I was devastated 2 nights ago. I just cried myself to sleep, and I then take care of my daughter, and then I go back home and go to sleep, and I don't have days, and so that's bringing me into a depression. But the thing is, when I thought that I was losing or could lose the same brain that was in this person, like if I am going to lose that person that way,
Right.
that was devastating, because this person knows me better than anybody in the entire world, and we've shared
Right.
so much. We're like sisters, and
Right.
that has really drained me. I'll be okay, because, I'm not the one who's going to the rehabilitation center. I'll be okay in a few days. But now I want to know, okay, you feel a lot of weakness. That's obvious with her, the weakness. But do you see a rainbow at the end of the tunnel with her, with this whole thing?
I do, and it's interesting you said that. Well, one, I want to say, head injury, any type of physical injury will take a toll on anyone's personality. I do have to, I just have to shine some light on that, because you're not the same. And the people that see you one way now see you a completely different way. So I do want to say, it's nice that you both have this friendship, or you're like sisters. So you know what she's really like. So that's not her right now. And sometimes we say things, or sometimes we feel a certain way when we're in pain. But knowing that, she has you by her side, and just not taking what she's going through personal, because I'm sure she doesn't want you to feel sad, and you don't want her to feel pain. But yeah, and I also wanted to say that the dog was a great idea, because my dog was like my savior going through all of this. So I'm really glad that you're able to bring the dog there. Like I don't know where I would be if it wasn't for my dog, like being there for me every single day. So I wish every hospital or places would allow it. So I would say continue to do that, because they're just natural healers.
I
yeah.
tell you something. Can I tell her the story about my dentist?
Sure. Oh, yeah.
I have a
That's
dentist.
cute story.
And her name is Dr. Orr, and it's so interesting is she is the only dentist I've ever been to that has a therapy dog with her. Her dog she has a dog, and the dog wears this little shirt on it that says the Tooth Fairy, and I mean whenever she'll be working on your teeth, and the dog will be in the room with you, and will just stare at you, and
Right.
I mean, it's actually very, very therapeutic in a way, because, it's like amazing to talk to this dog, and so it was very therapeutic.
They are, because it was probably the best thing that my husband could have done in the condition that I was, and they are therapeutic, and they sense our feelings like smart. Like I love to say, my dog really is smart. Like I would come home from the hospital, and I would have an incision, right? So your main thought is, oh my God, don't let the dog touch me. But it's like he knew I can't get too close to mommy, like there's something not right here. So they are very intelligent and extremely healing. So I really wanted to say, I think that's great. And to continue to surround her, if she could have the dog, with her. But you asked me about a light, and it's interesting you said that in the rainbow, because my symbol, when there's a light at the end of the tunnel, or, I see a yellow brick road with a rainbow. To me, it's like, you're going down this path, but it's going to get better. There is a rainbow, there is a light, but unfortunately, sometimes, as the expression goes, we have to go through some storms. But I do see their improvement, but I do also see, Barbara, that it's going to take a lot of hard work. And I just get the sense like you're her rock, and like she's your rock. So I just want to say, if you guys can support each other and help each other. And it's going to take a lot of patience, because I just feel we're talking about weeks to months in this rehabilitation.
Oh, yeah.
And then I see even rehabilitation when she's going to be coming home. So whether that's getting PT in the home or making some alterations in the house as well. So I see a lot of changes coming up for her. But I also know that you too don't want her to see you sad, or you want to be strong for her. But know that, you know, what I think the most thing is that someone is in pain. Like, it's not that we want to hear, like, we're going to be okay. I just think it's knowing that we're not going through it alone. So as long as you could, you know, you're talking to her and let her know, you know, you're not in this alone. I am here for you. I think that's what most of us want to hear.
Okay.
We want to hear that we're not in it alone.
For sure. And that is so interesting that I said the, you know, light at the end of the rainbow, because you were imagining that at the same time. Wow.
Yes, and that's my symbol. When I see a rainbow, I tell people that's a good sign. Go for it. It's positive. It's the right path. So it varies in certain situations, but when I see it, I think that she's very determined, and I think you'll push her. I think you're going to give her that nudge that she needs, and that support that she needs. And I think that's important, because what I've realized just from my own experience and other people, it happens where, you know, we don't know how to help the person, so we just let them be, or I can't do anything for you. So a lot of times in certain situations, more often than not, friendships end or people separate, or because they just don't know how to handle the situation.
They
you know
pull
what I mean?
away. They do. They
pull
away.
They pull away. So that's why I want to say,
because they feel uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
They don't know what to say to the person. They feel like, okay, like I have another person in my life that they know how long they have left to live. So they told me that their family members were pulling away because the family members just didn't know what to say to them. But that's not what they want at all. They don't want somebody to feel awkward or pull away from them. I mean, they want you to face it. They don't want you to act like, oh, push it under the rug, sweep it under the rug at all. They don't want that at all. So I do know that.
Yeah, because it's like someone says, it's like, I don't know what to say, but it's because it's almost like we don't know how to have a conversation with them now. It's like, well, they're in pain, and I don't want to share my good news because I don't want to put them down, or I don't want to, you know, like say the wrong thing. So sometimes people find, well, I just won't say anything, or I just won't come around. But then, you know, that's also lonely, you know, because we're still the same person. We're just going through something, whatever it is. I mean, everybody goes through something. Maybe it's physical, maybe it's emotional, maybe it's mental. But that's what I think is important in life. It's to know that you're not alone in this, and that. Mm-hmm.
Another thing is when I told a friend about it, a very close friend about it, they said, oh, well, have you told her parents? And I said, well, yes, I told them immediately, because, of course, they need to know. Oh, well, I wish you wouldn't have done that. They're getting older, and they're, you know, they've got their own health issues. You know what? That is too bad. This is their daughter that is holding on to life right now. They need to know. They need to know, because that is the right thing to do. And I will never feel guilty for telling the family immediately what has happened. And actually, the hospital said, well, are you going to call the family? And if you don't want to, we will. I mean, it was something that they needed to know, because it was the right thing to do. And so you get these, and you're going through this right by the person's bedside, and you're hearing these things, and it was just so hard not to let those things aggravate me, because I'm already tired, I'm already stressed out, and then I hear something that is just, I'm feeling is really ridiculous and stupid, basically, and I have to keep my composure with that. So that just reminds me of how, like, people get torn apart, because it becomes like this competition almost, I've noticed, of who can find out more information and who's telling whom and all of this. And it's just ridiculous when this person who is laying there fighting for their life, well, that's the issue here, people. Wow.
Exactly. But I think you did the right thing, because I see any parent would want to know if something was going on with their child. I don't care how old. Like, I know my parents, and, you know, they worry about me, they care about me, and sometimes they got a lot on their plate, but I see how they are with all the kids, and it's like, no matter what, I don't care what time it is or what day it is, you better call me and if there's something going on. So I think you did the right thing, because I think they would just worry more, you know. And
oh yeah, well, they would wonder why they would wonder why their daughter's not answering the phone for 3 days, and they would wonder, why didn't she ever come home from her weekend getaway? And I mean, that was just so ridiculous. So, oh my gosh, but they had to be told. And I thought it's better coming from me because they know me rather than the hospital. So that part, that's done and that's good. But wow, I want to know more about your transformation. I want to know, like, okay, so when all that happened, besides, that was wonderful, giving your kidney and giving life to a little girl, what other things did you experience with your transformation that came from the accident?
Well, so much happened because not only did I have like multiple spine surgeries, I had some rare diagnoses, which actually ended up leading to donating the kidney. So much happened, but I want to say, like, throughout all of this, that's when I truly became awakened. Now, I do believe like my gifts were always there from childhood just because of things I felt and experienced and saw. But depending also growing up, maybe it wasn't normal to talk about or to say. So a lot of things probably got suppressed, and I dealt with a lot of anxiety and all of that. But growing older and having these surgeries, I literally started having all these spiritual experiences, from outer body experiences to seeing things. And I thought, like, okay, I must be on all these pain meds. I must be on all of these medications, and I'm like starting to see and hear things, and I started to worry. But honestly, it was just all of these feelings or all of these things that were suppressed that started to happen. So, 1 minute it was like someone came into my life and told me about Reiki, and Reiki was incorporated in my healing. And then the next thing someone mentioned a tarot class, and that was my way when I was able to. I would have my walker, my cane at that point, and I'd be trying to take a class or a spiritual class. Like, all these things just started coming on my path. I was not looking for it. It was interesting because I had a reading, I guess we all have that, we call that psychic, and, is everything going to be okay? And I was going for like my second spine surgery, and I did the same thing. I'm like, let me call this psychic. I couldn't even tell you who the name was that had referred me, but someone referred me throughout all of this. And I remember calling this psychic, and here I was at this point going for spine surgery number 2 in a wheelchair. And the psychic tells me, she's like, you're really psychic. I see you doing this, in the future. Like, I see you giving readings, and I see you doing, and I'm like, this woman's out of her, like, I hung up thinking, what was that woman like thinking, right? Here I am, I could barely walk, I'm going to be giving readings. I don't know anything about giving readings or things like that. So it was just interesting. But here I was a couple of years after that, and I am doing exactly what she said I was doing. Was not looking for it, but things just came into my path. Teachers, people, friends, and that like how it goes, like, throughout each chapter of your life, maybe you have those few same people that stay there, but then you have other people that, come into your life for a certain time, and then they introduce you to somebody or something, and then you meet new people. It was just interesting. Yeah, so that was like my last few years. I just kept feeling like I'm on this path, and I meet someone, they teach me and open a door. I meet someone, they teach me and open a door. So it was very intriguing, and I just started taking these classes. And then before you knew it, I started doing practice readings, and practice readings grew into somebody referring me. And then I went to go take a class, which I didn't know was a platform class. And platforms actually when you stand up in front of like groups of people. And I was petrified. I'm like, there is no way I would stand up, and talk in front of people. Like I would be nervous. I'd be nervous to do this. So, anyway, I got led, and I didn't realize what kind of class it was. I thought it was just a mediumship class. And the next thing you know, it was actually a platform class. And here I was talking in front of people, and it was an amazing experience. And then that just kind of led me to more people. And throughout all that, too, I became an ordained minister. So that involved a lot of talking in front of people. So, again, not things that I was looking for. I wasn't looking to be an ordained minister. I wasn't looking to be a medium. Sometimes you just have to trust that life, God, whatever it is you believe in, has a bigger plan, right? So I'm thinking, oh my God, am I? Mm-hmm.
I was just going to interject there that I think it was such a blessing because I read in your bio that you had to keep it quiet when you were growing up as a little girl. You knew you were psychic. You wrote it down as a very young child, but you had to hold it in, and so this accident let it all out, basically. And I feel like that is an amazing transformation and a blessing to you and for everybody else that you help now.
Thank you. Yeah, it was. I still, that diary has a troll on it. And it would say, P.S., I think I'm psychic. And, you say that as a kid. Oh, I knew that. Or how did I know that? And, you do get the, well, it was just a coincidence. But what are the chances, But, you kind of get shut out. But then it gets to the point, like, I'll tell you, my father was skeptical, my husband. But, when things are just too close, you just can't make that up. And it's like, okay, wait a minute. She's too right about too many things, or she just knows way too much. How could you possibly describe someone that's not living, for instance? So, yeah, I'm glad that it was able to come out, because when we're going through pain and we're going through, like, well, what do I do with my life now? Where do I go from here? It was, well, you know what? We have a plan for you. So it was just amazing, because it's not just about the readings. It's about the healings and giving hope and inspiration to other people. Like, let's say I had spoken to your friend. It's not necessarily about the reading. It would be like, listen, you can get through it, and really sharing your painful experience, but look what came at the end of it, right? It wasn't like this 10 years ago. It's taken a lot of hard work, mentally, physically, and spiritually to get to where I am, but I just trusted and surrendered. Like, I can't be living just to be suffering. There's got to be something else. And there was, and that's when the whole awakening became, when I started to question life and question, why do things happen? And that's when really things just started, my gifts just began to unravel. The more I surrendered to, wait, there's got to be something more. Thank you.
The more you surrendered. Wow. Go ahead, Johnny. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I was wondering if she'd be open to taking a call right now.
Yeah, sure. Yes.
Okay. All right.
Great.
780.
Thank you.
Oh, 780. Welcome to the show. You are on live with LJ the Medium.
Hi.
Hi. This is Michelle.
Hi, Michelle. How are you?
I'm great, thanks. How are you?
I'm good, thank you.
So I guess kind of on the topic you've already been talking about, it's been a rough time because my mom has Alzheimer's. So I'm just kind of, I'm feeling lonely because I'm kind of by myself and missing that companion. So I think I just kind of almost need that to help me through this right now, because I'm going into a depression and lots of fun stuff on my own. So it's, whatever you can help me with, I'd appreciate it.
Yes. Absolutely. So I'm sorry that your mom is going through that, but I feel that she's truly blessed to have you, and I feel you're really blessed, to have her. And I can only imagine how lonely it is, because I talk with a lot of people on a daily basis that are going through something with health related, and I understand it can be lonely. So what I would really recommend to you, Michelle, is, I understand that you're doing a lot of this on your own, and sometimes it could be hard to delegate or ask someone, for assistance or help. But I really want to give more, guidance to you, Michelle, and for your mom as well. We can get lost as being caretakers, right? We take care of somebody, and then we kind of forget about Michelle. We kind of forget about who we are. What is it that we like to do? Because we just take on a whole nother role. So the guidance and advice that I could give to you, Michelle, is continue to do something that you love to do. There's mom time, there's caregiving time, but just like anything else, there's time to eat, there's time to sleep, right? So what is it, I would say, something that you could do? And maybe it could be something together with mom, right? I understand she has Alzheimer's, but maybe a craft, or maybe something that we can do together. I want you to stay engaged, because what happens is when we do, say, mom's in bed and you get a few minutes to yourself, our mind starts to wander, or we start thinking about things that are out of our control, right? And then that's where our loneliness and stuff comes in. So I'm not saying you have to spend every minute being hands-on, but I would do something that brings you joy. If that's reading a book, if that's taking a bath, anything that can bring you a little bit of joy and enlightenment to your day, and doing things that you still like to do. So really taking care of yourself, just the way we want to take care of mom, it's very important to take care of Michelle too.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Good.
Well,
you're very welcome.
Such good advice, because I feel like, I just wrote that to my other best friend that lives far away, my best friend since fourth grade, and I said it's time for me to take care of myself and my daughter, because you can't ever lose sight of yourself, because if you're not strong, then how can you be strong for others? But when they're passed away, so then there's that whole other wave of emotion that is going to affect our life, the living. So is there advice that you could give our caller, Michelle, about, and in all of us who are going to be losing our loved ones in the future, what do we do to then comfort our own selves?
Right. So one, I want to say, when we're a caregiver in any situation, it's easy to get burnt out. It's easy to get lost in taking care of other people that we don't take care of ourselves. But the best thing I could say, too, is, our loved ones, we never know what tomorrow brings, right? I didn't know I'd go into work and I'd be hurt, or people don't know when certain things hit us unexpectedly. So that's where I really like to say, to really embrace the time that we have with our loved ones. Do something, make a photo album together, look through pictures. Like, I like to say, embrace the time that we do have with them, right? Because I understand when we talk with loved ones on the other side, they come through, and what are they sharing? And a lot of readings, what are they sharing? They're sharing the memories that they had with their loved ones. The feelings that they had, how you left them. So we want to make them feel as good as we can, but they also want to see us feeling good and happy too. They don't want to see, oh no, I'm stressing her out, I'm making her tired, or anything like that. That's not what they want either. But that's why I say find balance. Finding balance is extremely important, and really just embrace time, that we do have, and really learning the patience together. But that's why I think it's important to be there for them, but be there for yourself too. And
but what if we're not near them? What if we're states away? Right.
Yeah,
well,
states away
so
from them. Want to talk to me.
So if you're saying, like, as far as distance, if we live far away, as far as distance, you mean?
Yes.
Well, I think it's important, just like anything else. Sometimes, we have relatives that do live far away, but that's why I think, keeping those traditions, calling, checking in on them, sending a card, sending flowers, sending, care packages. I mean, it is hard, and it's nobody's fault, when we're distant and far away. But really, the thing that we could do is the best that we can do. What is the best that we can do? If we can visit, wonderful. If not, what can we do to make this person's day better, or make them feel a little lighter and like love?
But those were good
we're still with them.
Ideas.
Mm-hmm.
Those were good ideas, though. The photo albums, and look through the computer and find all those special photos that you enjoy together, and that's touching to the person who is going through the situation. But with Michelle's mom, my heart goes out to you, because when they have Alzheimer's, they aren't themselves, and like she said, wouldn't even talk to her. And that's so hurtful and sad. But I mean, okay, then you're saying, LJ, there's a meaning for everything. So, but why? Why? What's the meaning of this one?
Why someone would have Alzheimer's?
Yes.
That's a very, very hard question. I couldn't tell you why I got hurt. I can't tell you why someone's ill, or why there's a coronavirus going on. I don't know why there's certain things that are, out of our control. And that's very unfortunate. But I believe it's making the best of the time that we have here. Because it's almost like you're out tomorrow, but did you live your best life? Do you feel that you gave your all and you did everything you could? So again, I can't say, oh, I know why she got Alzheimer's. That's I can't say, why do people get cancer? I think that's I think it's horrible. I think it's awful that anyone has to go through any pain and any kind of illness. But I believe that there's always a plan, or, you know what I mean, why it's hard to answer that, right? Because no one deserves it. No one should have that. No one should have that illness.
I do, but I'm thinking this planet that we live on is just so strange because of these things that are put in front of us, and then because we never can have the answer to the why, and that's so frustrating.
Right. It is. I wish I could say that. I wish I could say, well, why did my life, why did that happen? And I think that's something that we always ask. But something connected to Alzheimer's, because I know a few people, that are have family members with Alzheimer's, And, you know, from what I hear is just not to treat them any different. You know, so I know someone who's like, I just go along with it because I know from understanding from other people, it's like they're not themselves or they believe like the daughter is the mother. And from what I understand, they kind of just go with that role. I'm not saying everybody does the same thing, but they kind of just go with it, you know. So it's not, she goes to me, I don't exhaust myself by saying, I'm not your mom, or, you know, daddy died, and then kind of having to repeat that because that could be painful for yourself and the person.
Okay.
So what they do is they kind of go along with it and just kind of embrace and just let it be and just take it as it comes.
Michelle,
it's hard. Mm-hmm.
Let's ask Michelle if that's what she's been doing. What have you been doing as in regards to communication with your mom? Do you correct her when she's confused, or do you go along with it? How are you dealing with that?
Oh, it's hard. And that's how I was in the beginning. And then now, like even at Christmas time, I called her at Christmas and she wouldn't even talk to me. She just says, tell her I'm busy. So I can't even have a conversation. So that's probably why I'm grieving, because I'm never going to have a conversation with her again. Right. Yeah.
Like she's already
my heart.
You're grieving. Like she's already gone. She's grieving.
Yeah.
My heart goes out to you, Michelle. It really does.
Me too.
Thank
Me
you.
too.
How far are you and your mother right now? Are you in different states?
Oh, she's in a different province. Yeah, so she's about 4,000 kilometers away, so about 2,000 miles.
Okay.
So for me to take a trip there and her to be nasty to me, it's just not something I can handle. Right? I've already.
Okay. Right. And that's
tough.
true, and you want to do what's best for them, but you also want to do, you know, what's best for you, and that is a tough situation. And again, my heart goes out to you, and
thank you.
I will keep you in my thoughts.
Thank you all. I appreciate it.
But all you
Blessings.
could do too is just keep calling and loving her and send. And I always say to people, we could send love and light. Everybody could do it. So just continue to send that love and light, and thank you for calling.
And thank you so much,
thank
Michelle.
Thank you.
Also, I think that if she and everybody else just continues to do what you say, LJ, and continue just putting the effort in with good intention, you know, at least that will cause us to not have any regrets in our own life, that we have done everything we can do for them. So then at least that emotion is not going to be in the equation. But it is a very strange disease, this. My uncle passed away from that as well. But sometimes they get nicer, sometimes they get mean, sometimes they don't recognize you.
And I think that's got to be hard. And again, I can't really connect with this, but, you know, like, you know, not being able to be recognized, and, you know, it's just, it's painful no matter what. Just, I don't know Michelle personally, just hearing that's painful. You know, you're calling to talk to mom and you can't. So it's very, very painful. Grieving someone that's still here, I can't even imagine. So, and I wish I had answers as to what about very rare conditions. Like I was diagnosed with very rare conditions, and I couldn't tell you why. You know, I just had to try and find the silver lining, you know, through it. So I think you had read the bio, but as far as my kidney, it wasn't my first choice to go donate a kidney. It was, I had this kidney condition, and I had surgery for it, which failed. And they said that my kidney had to come out after that failed surgery. So I looked at it as, well, what can I do? I made it this far, you know, can I donate my kidney, which was something I was able to do. So
wow, and you
painful.
Came up with the idea? Did you come up with the idea to donate? Wow.
I did. So I was the first. So I had this rare condition, but I was trying to turn something negative into something positive, which led me towards organ donation, which was truly amazing, which saved somebody's life. So here I was treating my condition and saving someone's life. So again, this was a treatment that had never been done before. I was the first patient at New York Presbyterian Hospital to go forward with this. So here we are, you know, being advocates, and now 6 other people, a dozen have gone through it, but 6 other official people with my condition called Nutcracker syndrome have actually donated as well now. So I've been able to take my yes, thank you. So my painful experience and others now are able to do it, and I'm raising a lot of awareness with the National Kidney Foundation and trying to get this, you know, diagnosis or this treatment known, because there's only so much we know about diseases. There's only so much we know about treatment. So I was the first patient to go forward with this. So that's where I'm at, sharing my story.
Wow. Is there a foundation for this that you could let the listeners know about, that so they could try to support this? Nutcracker, is it called Nutcracker disease, you said?
Yeah, it's called Nutcracker syndrome. And right now I've been, Nutcracker syndrome. So I've been working a lot or volunteering a lot and raising awareness with the National Kidney Foundation. So I'm trying to get out there, an opportunity like this, sharing my story. I belong to a lot of support groups as well, and we're doing a lot of that. I actually have an event coming up in April. I'm celebrating my 2-year kidneyversary, and with that, I'm having an event with the vice president of the National Kidney Foundation is going to be there. And, we're doing as much as we can, just really trying to get the word out, work with the hospital. But
actually, I want to say
Yep.
something. It's funny. I work for an organization on when I'm not doing this called the American Kidney Society, and what we do is we actually will take things at your house like clothing and things and toys, and then what we do is we sell them at a thrift store, and then the money that we get from the thrift store goes to help people like you.
That's amazing.
Oh, yeah.
And I love that. That's truly tremendous. And I think that's all we could do is continue to make efforts. So with the event coming up in April as well, I'm doing a restaurant, and the net proceeds are actually being donated to the National Kidney Foundation. But I appreciate you sharing that with me. I'll have to look into also to the American Kidney Society. So, we're trying to do different things, trying to raise awareness and funds. Yes.
You know why? Because most of the diseases and syndromes out there, the only thing that's stopping from finding cures or more help is money. So they need raising awareness, which you and Johnny are doing. That helps so much to get more funding for research to help find cures. So that right there. Okay, that's just right there is your life transformation experience that helps the world, basically. And you've had many, and that's just one of them. Wow.
Oh, yeah. Way too many. But at the end of the day, I always try and find, the light through it all. And sometimes it's like we don't know why things happen or we don't know what causes disease, but, we can try and do things and try something new and, experiment. And like you said, raise funds so we can get to the answers. I hope there is a day where we do get to see a cure for cancer or, other diseases. I pray to God that we do. But in the meantime, it's exactly what it is, just trying our best and, doing what we can. So that's where I'm at. I like to share what I can. Mm-hmm.
That's wonderful.
Thank
you. Would you like to take another call?
Sure.
Okay. 925 is the area code.
Hi, everyone. This is Terry.
Hi, Terry. Welcome to the show. You're on live with LJ the Medium. Welcome to the show.
Hi, LJ.
Hi.
I'm feeling really stuck. Really stuck. So I don't know if maybe I just wonder if maybe my grandmother has some advice for me or you.
Okay. Awesome. So let me see what I could feel into that. But I understand you're feeling stuck, but they're also showing me being in a place of transition. So I feel like you've had a big life change or we're going through a big life change, Carrie. But they are showing me, or what I'm picking up on as well, is I want to tell you to, find balance. Okay, and I feel like this is a message that a lot of us can connect with, but I feel like I need for you to reconnect again. Do you understand that? Like, I feel like we need to find what is it that we like to do again. We've had these life changes. We've gone through so much, but what is it that I want now? Where in my life do I want to be? But also, they just keep taking me to health, so I feel like either we're on our verge of making healthy choices, and especially since we're talking about health tonight and a lot of things healthy, but I just keep feeling like I want to find balance. And I also feel like I want to tell you to disconnect but reconnect. And what I mean by that is I just keep feeling that you go above and beyond. I just keep getting the sense like you're always there for everybody else, and I kind of feel like I got to take a deep breath. I feel like I have to find a deep breath because we get lost again in taking care of and doing for so many other people. So I just keep feeling like I want to tell you to disconnect to connect, Carrie, and they just keep bringing me to balance, but they are showing me too new beginnings happening. So I feel like you're going to start feeling better in May. So right now, I don't know if we're alone, and I understand it's winter and everything like that, but I just keep feeling like a breath of fresh air coming your way in May. And do you like to spend time outdoors or by the water?
Yes, very much.
Okay, because I feel like that's really good for you, like just very therapeutic for you. Sometimes it doesn't always have to be like we need to be doing things. Sometimes we just need to be, right? And just being in the present and just allowing things to just happen and unfold. And also, I keep seeing cooking. So are you someone who likes to cook, or are we experimenting with cooking? I see a lot of kitchen stuff.
I like to cook if I don't have to cook.
All right, because I just keep seeing like, sometimes we're home and we get messing around in the kitchen. So I just feel like, experiment and try new things and getting out of a pattern of things should be like this or things should be like that. And that's what I just keep feeling is I really just want to tell you to have more fun and just really, just be. There doesn't have to be like a motive to do something. You know what I mean? Like I just keep getting, you want to go for a walk? Go for a walk. You want to cook and try a new recipe? Like go for it. Like I want you to find that fire in you again, that adventure side, like that child side in you. Like really just trying to go out and have fun because I don't feel like we're having a lot of fun. I feel like either we're busy or we're alone, but I want to tell you to like find that medium. Okay, and it just keeps showing me being healthy. So I feel like May coming, we're going out for more walks or we're going out for a jog. We're trying to eat right. So they're showing me they are showing me balance. So I know you're feeling stuck right now, Carrie, but they are showing me things calming down for you and new things coming up.
I have started walking, making it a practice to do it
Perfect.
at least 4 to 5 times a day. I really want to lose weight. I've been very lonely. I lost my husband during the summertime.
Oh,
and
I'm so sorry.
I'm just feeling, but I'm feeling really stuck and I'm really being guided to. I keep getting that I'm supposed to work on my gifts, but I feel so stuck.
Right. No, absolutely. It's when we lose somebody close to us and, we're going, and that's, again, that major life change, which it is. It's kind of where do we go from here, right? So learning that adventure again, and I understand you're grieving too, but also, again, finding that what makes you happy. That doesn't mean we're going on without our loved ones. It just means that we just have to keep moving forward, but they're right there with us, Carrie. And just, again, I think that's great that you're doing the walking, and I just feel like that's validation that you are getting healthy and you're on the right path of finding that balance. You're determined to make these changes of eating healthy, and, you want it. So I feel like your intention and your motive is all there to want to feel good and be better. And again, I just keep getting, I want to bring you outside of the house more. So maybe we're inside so much, but I want to tell you to go outside more, talk to people, be around like-minded people. If those gifts are something that you want to explore, look into some books. I'm happy to give you a book recommendation. Explore what it is. What is your soul calling you to do, Carrie? And, knowing that you're not...
I know this morning when I was sitting at work, I just really got really clear. I don't want to do that anymore. I just don't want to do it. I just go, and it's automatic, and I don't really want to be there, and I just don't want to do that anymore.
Right, and it's just like all of a sudden we become on autopilot, and it's interesting because right before you were saying that, I literally wrote down new jobs. So I feel like there's going to be something else that's calling to you. Now, I don't know what you do, but I keep seeing smaller children or young children, so I'm not sure where the care is or where the connection is to younger kids with you.
I don't know. I think that would drive me crazy.
Okay, well, I just remember that I said it because sometimes I feel like sometimes being around children, it brings out that excitement in us and that adventure in us and, that playfulness in us. So I do feel that around you. I do feel younger. I just feel youth. I feel connected to like a youth environment with you. But I feel like that's going to open you up again. And again, it could be something on the side. It could be that you're watching friends' children or something. But that's just something that I just keep picking up with you. But I do see you we're in a period of soul searching. So I don't want you to say you're stuck, Carrie. I want you to look at it as in more of in a soul transition. I'm finding where my next chapter is, what's coming next for me. And I think it's great to just continue to be open, continue to explore. This is your life. This is your opportunity to do whatever it is that makes you happy. And Carrie, I also just want to say, I just keep seeing red cardinals. So I don't know how you connect with them, but they just keep popping up.
Like the bird, red cardinal?
Yeah.
Huh. I don't know.
Okay. So I just keep seeing these
That's
red cardinals, but yeah. Well, they're very spiritual animals too, but I just keep seeing that around you as well. So really just trying to spread your wings, get out there more, get outside more, get outdoors more, connect with people more, and, start looking for new work or that, but just keep your heart open. And okay. I just feel you're going to have a lot of spiritual growth coming up in the next few months.
Thank you so much, Elgin.
You're so welcome. I send you lots of love and blessings. Thank you for listening.
Mm-hmm. Take care.
That's wonderful. That's really good advice, too, because when I'm down and I feel really like an icky day is happening, if I just go outside for even a few seconds, it lifts my spirits, or get in the shower and get the water on me that's so healing. I really feel like it changes the whole day around.
Yeah, because you're grounded. When we're grounded, it's completely different. When we're not grounded, that's when we're bumping into things and the car won't start and everything just starts to go haywire. But when you're grounded, we start feeling in balance, feeling good. We start feeling okay. I'm ready for the next chapter. I'm ready for today. But when we're not grounded, it's like, oh my God, everything's going wrong. What am I going to do now? The computer won't turn on. My phone just died, right? Everything around us, because everything is energy. Everything is energy. So how we feel affects.
We're attracting that. Yeah. So then one thing after the other, and don't even say what I just said either. People don't even say that. Don't put that into the universe. But also, I would like to say that I've been doing reading. I used to compete competitively for years, ballroom dancing, and I was spinning, and I was lifting weights, and I had a personal trainer, and I did all that, and yes, I was in tip-top shape, but, it's not, you don't have to do all that to stay pretty in shape. I heard you only have to walk briskly for 30 minutes a day, 20 to 30 minutes a day, walk, and how beneficial walking is. And then just mix that with the eating really healthily, and you would be very surprised of how your body
100%, because walking, right, cardiovascular, our heart is doing so much work. So really you want to keep the blood flowing. You want to keep moving. And it's interesting because I think people always about the diet and the exercise, but from what I've read and research, it's 80% is of what you're eating. That 20% is the exercise part, but 80% is what about your eating.
Definitely. It really is. It is, because when you're overweight and you go and work out really hard and you see no results, that is so like, that's discouraging. Oh, wow, I worked this hard and nothing's happening. It's the diet is the main thing you've got to change. And of course, keep
1,000%.
Yep.
1,000%.
And people don't even know about when you weight lift. They think, that's just building muscles. But weightlifting, not heavily, but just normal weightlifting also, is really burning the calories. And that's way easier than going to do like some kind of huge aerobic 45-minute high-energy pumping kickboxing, And so people need to just know that, research that, because that can really help just to be more educated with that. And I know we're talking about more of the paranormal today with you, but why not some just basic real life, stuff too?
Well, that's what I say. I always say spirit guides us to what needs to be said, to something that maybe somebody needs to hear. So I'm always open to wherever the conversation goes,
Yeah, and I read that you really like yoga too, and that's so important. And that's do. Is yoga meditation? Is that like a form of meditation? Yoga.
It's a form of meditation. It is. I love yoga just to feel like grounded and just feel, relaxed for me. Turning our minds off because they're always going. But I love yoga and I love exercising too. One, I had to learn to love fitness because with my spine, my doctor's like, you have to work out for the rest of your life because you need a stable spine. So one, it's just something that I have to do, but I also love to do. I love yoga. I just try and love to be active. I'm not someone who likes to just sit. I have to move. And then when you're sitting for so many years, you get to the point where you just like, okay, wait, I'm okay now. I could do this. I could do that. It's almost like you're trying to catch up for lost time. But I like to be busy. I like to engage and do things and talk to people and help people.
Right, and that
way.
gets you out in your yoga class too. And I'm looking right at your website right now, and I want to tell the listeners where to go to find you. It's LJ the Medium, and that's just ljthemedium.com. So easy to find you so that they could contact you directly for more thorough counseling or readings and see what events you have coming up, and all your services that you offer are right there. And you're on Facebook and Twitter, I see, Facebook and Instagram.
Yeah.
I see. Yeah. You can connect right there on your website to that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, LJ the Medium. It's fun. I offer private readings and group readings. And I do lives on Facebook every Wednesday. So my Facebook page, LJ the Medium, I do live readings during the week on Wednesdays at 8 Eastern time. So that's always fun.
Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. I was going to ask what time. So 8 Eastern, you can tune in live. I love that feature on Facebook as well.
Right?
Live.
It's fun.
Yeah, I love it.
Fun. So I kind of do like tonight. I try and do. Yeah, I like to give as many readings as I can. So that's tomorrow night, actually. So I'll be giving live readings.
That's awesome.
Would you like
fun. Yes.
Would you like to take another caller?
Sure, take another caller.
Okay. 775, you're on the air.
775, welcome to the show. You're on with Medium LJ the Medium. Welcome.
Hi.
Hi. Thank you, everybody. LJ, it's an honor to meet you. I admire your courage and what a beautiful soul you are.
Oh, my God. Thank you so much. That really means a lot to me. Thank you.
Well, God bless you. And
I truly appreciate that.
Well, I mean that from my heart. My name is Wendy, LJ, and I was in a horrific car accident over 30 years ago, and it's a miracle that I could walk again. And and then about a year and 8 months ago, I was in the backseat of a yellow cab, and there was a rear-end collision. So I've been able to lead a fairly normal life, but I have spondylosis of the thorax and lumbar region, and I've been off work since the 15th day of January. I'm really smart about providing all the paperwork so that hopefully my job will be preserved. They've got tons of backup proof with MRIs and everything else.
Mm-hmm.
But I work in a medical insurance field on the phone, and I speak to patients. And I want to hold off starting my Social Security at least until February. Will I keep my current job and be able to hold off starting Social Security until February?
Yes, I'm seeing, yes. I do see your work being held. I do see all the appropriate documentation and all that you need to do. So I do feel that you're in a good place, but not so much, because I'm sorry to hear everything that you've been going through and what you had to endure as well, because I know pain, chronic pain, anything is not easy to deal with. So, but I do feel everything, I just feel like everything's on hold right now, so I don't feel that there's not much else that you need to do as far as Social Security or anything like that. So I feel everything is okay with your job.
When will I
continue to
return
make
back?
sure everything's sorry?
I need to make sure my paperwork's in order is probably what you were telling me.
That's exactly what I was saying. Like, get it in earlier than later. I just feel like you don't want to miss anything like that. So I just keep feeling that's what I really want to push you to do. Just make sure everything is on time, and I think it should be fine.
Okay. And my doctor, when do you see me going back to work? Frankly, I'd like to stay off work until December, but my doctor is the captain of the ship.
Okay. So he's the one who's in charge. And you said September,
but she's a very intelligent little Asian lady, and she's helped me so much, but she's really, I think she finally has compassion and understanding of my health issues with my back. So how long will she continue to approve me off work? Will it be another month or through December or?
Right. So I keep seeing, I'm going to tell you what I'm seeing, but I always tell people anything can change, right? Anything can happen any day. But I keep being shown 3 to 4, so 3 to 4 months. So that's, anything can change, could be more or less, but that's just what I'm picking up on right now.
And that's fine. And I share an apartment with my sister, Leslie. Our lease is up at the end of June. But I also have to get my Chapter 7 squared away because we could still be approved for a new apartment as long as the trustee has discharged the Chapter 7. So do you see me signing a new lease with my sister Leslie at a new apartment building this summer, or will it be more towards December?
No, I'm feeling it's much sooner than that, actually. I'm feeling a move much sooner. I don't feel you staying where you are right now. I feel you moving into a completely new building. Like, I just keep seeing like a clean slate. So I'm feeling that much sooner.
And we'll be my sister Leslie and I will be signing a lease together?
I'm not feeling it together right now. Anything can change, but I'm not sure that it's together. I feel like we're close by, but I'm not sure that we're staying together.
Well, in the apartment that we have right now, we're on opposite sides of the apartment, but it's one apartment.
Oh, okay. Then that makes a little bit more sense because I feel like we're close, but not in the same space. So I don't know if it's similar to that situation or we're on like two, down the hallway. But I just feel I'm showing a separate space.
But will she and I be signing a lease together?
I'm feeling separate. I know there's always free will, right? So what I'm feeling, but I'm feeling separate.
Yeah, I think financially it would help both of us, and I'm not sure that she has the availability financially to afford a place on her own.
Okay.
But,
well, I don't know. We'll see. Situations change, but, it could be that I'm picking up on just separate, like you said, you're living separate right now. But, it's whatever's going to work out for the both of you at the end of the day, right?
Yeah, I think that I would be very lonely. She's my only family right now. So I hope that we do end up signing a new lease together. I wish it could be a place called The Reserve, but there are other nice apartments. Primary care doctor wrote a script for a wheelchair because with this last incident, it was miraculous that I could even get back into the hospital for imaging. I'm a little bit more mobile now, but the woman in DME erased the order, and she seems to feel that she can override what my doctor says. So I am working with entities that say they can help me. Will I be able to get the wheelchair, or what's going to happen?
Yes. No, I see you getting it. Yes, you will have that. It's very important, too. So I think that that's very vital and important in your care. But, yes, you will have that. And I'm sorry you're going through this, and I thank you for calling, and I wish you the best of health and a smooth transition when you move.
Yeah, I hope it's with my sister. So thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you for calling.
Wendy does call our show a lot. I love to hear from her, and it's so wonderful to be a part of a show that you have your regulars that call and you kind of monitor their life with them as they go through and watch what happens. And Wendy's story, this is going to be very interesting to see what happens. Thank you, Wendy, so much for calling all the time, so then we can follow along and then see what happens and see the miracles that are about to happen in your life. Because, look, it is about balance, isn't it, LJ? I mean,
absolutely.
If it's going down, doesn't it have to come back up?
Exactly. We can't stay down, but there's also things that we need to do to move things along as well. You know, it's interesting because I always give this example, but when someone asks me, you know, am I going to move? Do you see me getting a new house? Now, the medium or the psychic can say, yeah, I see it, right? But there's things that we need to do to move it along. Did you sell the house that you are at now? Did you start looking for a new house? So we all need to, you know, make moves. We all need to push things along that we want to happen. So, you know, if you're not feeling well, and it's important that, you know, you go to your doctor's appointments, that you do the activities and whatever it is that you're meant to do. You know, if you're trying to be healthier, be mindful of what you're eating. So a lot of things are not in our control, but there are some things that are. And those are the things that we need to focus on. Yes, being proactive 100%.
Like people want to find love, but they sit around in their apartment and don't go out. Well,
that's correct.
Doesn't make it. The universe is going to put a hard job on the universe then to make that happen.
And part of it is helping ourselves too. You know, making things happen for ourselves. You want something, we have to go and get it, and it's not going to be easy. It's never, you know, what is easy, right? So, but there's certain things that we have to do, and I always tell people you won't know until you try. So you have to kind of, you know, help yourself along the way and give yourself what it is that you need, what you're looking for.
Yes. Great advice. And this was like perfect timing for me personally, having you on the show. And so thank you so much. I actually feel
You're welcome.
more up. I really do. I feel a little surge of energy. I feel up. Like I feel like, okay, I can handle this. I am strong. Sometimes my mind is very strong, but my body is weaker. But that's just because my sleep has been interrupted. So it's so great that you pointed out to please take care of yourself. Because physically we can't keep up with the way our mind wants us to be. You know, so the physical, taking care of the eating properly and the getting your sleep, and then the mind, body, and spirit will be in balance.
Exactly. So it's a lot of work. Life is work. Health is work, you know, and I know you'll get through it, and I'll definitely keep your friend on my healing list. I like to do that every month. I add names to a healing list, so I will certainly keep your friend in my healing as well.
Oh, thank you. And when we do say work, you know what, work is fun. I'd rather have work than have nothing. You know, I love, like you. I'm like you. I like to be busy. That's inspirational. There's no boredom around here. That's for sure. So work at the fun. It is fun. Life is fun. So I pick up on a lot of things when people call too. And of course they're going to call with their problems. So I'm saying that. But my advice would be try to find what is positive going on in your life. And think about that half the time as well. Don't always think about the problems, right? Because we're magnets to our thoughts, not just about what we say verbally, but it's really important our thinking as well. right?
Oh,
LJ?
100%. Well, our minds are powerful, right? It does what we tell it to do. So that's why it's very important that we're quite careful about the thoughts that we feed our mind. So I always say to people, yeah, it's about feeding your body and what you're putting in your body, but what are you feeding your mind? If you're going to tell yourself you can't do something, if you can't make things happen, then that's what's going to happen. But if you feed your mind positivity, it's like the law of attraction, eventually it believes it, right? So it's important to be aware of what we're saying to ourselves. Because self-talk, I mean, we talk with ourselves more than anybody on a daily basis. If from the time you wake up in the morning to the time you go to bed, all you're doing is constantly talking to yourself.
Right. And that's why the meditation is so important too, right? The meditation is very important too, to empty our minds so then we can actually, let the good thoughts come in. Because sometimes I wasn't even ready for a show. Maybe I was busy, and then it's a really, really intense show, and I can't quite connect with the medium very well because my mind was too full, and I feel like, okay, I should have meditated right beforehand, empty out everything, so therefore I could absorb this and make it really more worthwhile. So don't forget to meditate as well, everybody. And so, wow, this is amazing. And we're so glad to have met you. And thank you, Johnny, for finding me.
Thank you. Likewise.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you for finding me on Instagram.
Yeah. Oh, he found you? Oh, cool.
Yeah,
Good,
he found me on social media. That's the good thing about social media these days.
Oh, yeah.
Connecting with
wonderful.
people. Yeah,
it
so
really
thank you for inviting me on, and I hope you found it. I'm glad that you said you were feeling lighter and better.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So I'm happy about that.
And I feel some connection with Wendy, too, because she does call in a lot and takes advantage of our complimentary readings that we have and all of the different people, and I connect with her. And I just want her to say, hey, because she wants, the reserve I think she wants to live in, I remember I wanted to live somewhere so badly, and I drove by a complex every single day and just stared at it and said, I want to live there. I'm going to live there.
Yeah.
I'm going to live there.
Yeah.
I'm going to live there. And it happened. It took 3 months of doing that, though.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
And I lived there for 4 years, and it was on Rodeo Drive in Beverly Hills, and I did it. And I had that dream since I was 12 years old, when my dad brought us to California for a vacation, and we went and drove around Beverly Hills for a day, and I had that in the back of my mind. And by the time I was 30 years old, or maybe 29, I had a Rodeo Drive address. It was all my thinking. Mm-hmm. It was definitely
that's because you're like, I'm going to have that. Your mind was set on it, your heart was set on it, and you're like, I'm getting it. So it's amazing when we really believe our own thoughts.
It really is. And also, because she knows exactly what she wants. And that's another thing with manifesting. I feel like if you know details, aren't details very important to think about and write down and just know the details about what you want? Because when my life was just kind of in limbo and nothing was really happening and it was a depressing time, it's because I didn't really know. What do I really want? And when I focused on, okay, what do I really want? Now I want to live in Huntington Beach. I focused, and that took 1 year.
Wow.
And now I'm here. I've
Beautiful.
been here for almost a year now. Yes.
Oh, wow. So it's nice and warm by you right now?
Well, it is amazing, isn't it, LJ?
Yeah. Yeah.
It really is.
It is. It really is.
So, okay, we have an hour show, and we went over a little bit. We don't want to take up too much of your time, but I just want the listeners and have you all know where to go find LJ. And I think your website is amazing. So, LJ, yes, it's done very well. And you're beautiful, by the way. You're a gorgeous, beautiful woman. I'm so glad that everything's worked out for you.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you. I truly appreciate your kind words and having me on the show and being able to connect with some live callers and sharing my story. So I really thank you for that.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. So everybody go to ljthemedium.com. Connect with her on Facebook. Tomorrow she has a live Facebook show where she's giving readings at 8 p.m. Eastern. So try to get to that. And because tomorrow we don't have a show, right, Johnny, on Wednesdays? So it's perfect. Go over and get with LJ.
Okay.
Because on Wednesdays we don't broadcast, so that's perfect. Everything's
there you
working
go.
out perfectly.
I hope you'll tune in and watch then.
Yeah. Oh, that would be so fun. That would be fun. What was Johnny going to say? Johnny, what were you going to say?
No, I didn't say anything. I was just double checking. We do not have a show tomorrow, so we don't. So.
Okay, because it's Wednesday. All right. So hold on, you guys. 10 seconds, and I'm going to close the show. I just want to give a shout out. So for everybody who would like to listen to anybody who wants to listen to the show again, they will be able to find it on our YouTube channel, Life, Laughter, Happiness. And when you're there, please do not forget to subscribe. We appreciate your support. And you'll find all of the other shows to listen to as well. And follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and our Facebook page to find out what's coming next on Thursday. So, we know what's coming next on Thursday. We have Psychic Dale Shear, so we're always excited about that as well. And thank you so much, everybody, for listening, and it was so wonderful meeting you, LJ.
It was so wonderful meeting you both, too. Thank you again for having me, and I'm sending lots of love and strength to your friend for a speedy recovery.
Oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. So have a great night, and thank you, Johnny, and everybody out there. Have a great night.
Thank you. Have a great night. Bye.
Okay. Bye.
Good night, everyone. Good night, Barbara. Good night, OJ.
Good night, Johnny.